much for joining us from wherever you are. It is a joy and a pleasure to present to you episode 3 of the Executive Search Summit series that we commenced just a couple of weeks ago. If you have joined us for all 3 sessions, congratulations, we've made it. If you've missed the first couple of sessions, they're must watch. You have to go back to the registration pages, check out episode 1, episode 2. We started off with the state of the industry with Karen Greenbaum of the AESE. Episode 2, again, masterclass by David Butter, teaching us about becoming trusted advisors. And serendipitously, episode 3 is around the technological innovation that we can put in place, or that we have put in place rather, to support the retained executive search space, taking into consideration those things that were mentioned just a couple of weeks ago in terms of the opportunities and the challenges that executive search firms are seeing today. So next slide, please. Everybody, please note that microphones will be muted, but we do encourage folks to utilize the chat, the Q&A. Please note that this session will be recorded, so you'll be able to watch this at a later time, or if you have to skip out because there's a client or a candidate call that comes in, it's all good. You will have this session recorded and in your inbox in the next 24 to 48 hours. Also, we have a jam-packed session in terms of the content that we want to deliver to you. So as you're asking questions, we may get to a couple of those, but don't be surprised if we actually address them later on via your account manager and our product team as well. So we also have a couple of guests. I know that there are a number of faces that you'll recognize as we go through. From Jonathan Novich, SVP of Product, we have Jason Sacramento, who is Solution Consultant Principal. We're going to talk to us about Bullhorn for Salesforce. We have John Hopkin, who we all have worked with quite a bit as well. He is our product manager for Invenius. We've got Eric Mativ, who's looking after automation and our automation initiatives. And we have a couple of partners with us who are also going to be focused on telling you about their innovation and how it is that they're supporting the retained search space. Elliot Lack of Coral Starfish, whom I know is quite popular among a number of you, delivering innovation in terms of gathering information from social media sites, very popular ones that y'all use every single day. And Elliot is going to give us a 60-second pitch at the end of the session. And we have a new entrant, Adrian Barrett of Kaya.ai, showing us how his assistant-led AI technology, again, helping transform executive search firms all over the world. I am so excited to hand over the baton and really kick this session off. I'm done talking. Jonathan Novich, over to you, my friend.
Oh, thank you, Ashton. I want to take you guys back a little bit in the time machine and talk about our journey here at Bullhorn in the executive search space. So Invenius was founded actually back in 2007. And though I have a suspicion that actually might have been envisioned earlier, the premise, though, was simple. Executive search professionals who made such an impact on the world, they didn't have the right tools to actually make that impact. In fact, overwhelmingly, it was Outlook. And our team at that time started with this in-depth understanding of the search professionals' workflows. And they came to the conclusion, actually, that extending Outlook, that was the path to success. That's what would actually really fit the search professionals' mindset and operating environment. When Invenius joined Bullhorn in 2018, we kind of hoped that we had reached our next stage. And in fact, that happened for us. Our customer base grew, the market matured, and frankly, we've become one of the biggest players in that space, truly a market leader. And so in about 2022, though, we hit a critical moment. The technology had evolved. We'd actually been working on that quite a bit. And also, our customers' data had continued to grow. And so last year, we actually started talking about the idea of automation becoming part of our coming of age. The good news is it's here. You'll get to hear more about that shortly. And when we think about automation, it's really critical. Databases have grown from just a handful of relationships to everyone you've ever met. And yes, that's what we see really happens. Everyone you've ever met is in your database. So operating at these very, very high volumes through automation is not just a luxury, it's actually a necessity. We've also seen a shift, albeit gradual, away from true desktop applications toward ones that are a hybrid of web and desktop technologies. That's even true for Outlook. And this too is actually part of our strategy. But probably even more importantly, we've also seen the market mature and develop, so much so that we see the executive search market addressable through not one, but two different products. Invenius, and for the most complex, large-scale, and varied businesses in Bullhorn for Salesforce. Salesforce's flexibility and unparalleled platform capabilities make it a natural fit for the most sophisticated and complex search firms. With that, I have so much confidence and hope about the market, and I'm delighted to have the esteemed John Hopkin share with you our vision for innovation. John, my friend, the floor is yours.
Well, thank you so much, Jonathan. Thank you. And a warm welcome to everyone joining this session today. We have lots of really exciting, innovative features to talk about on the webinar today. I'd like to start by recapping on the executive search product mission. And this is a statement that we believe communicates what we're all about. So why you would buy our software, what we do, where the value is for your business. Well, we are here to propel you as executive search professionals to elevate the hard-won, those closely guarded relationships you have with your clients and candidates. And that's as we support you in your mission to place leaders that have a true global impact, which you do day in and day out. And we're very, very proud to provide a platform that supports you in your mission. So in today's webinar, I'm going to be talking about Invenius features, some of which are released and available now. And we'll also be taking a look ahead at innovation in our future roadmap. In a slight change to the format from last year, I'm going to be bringing this to life through the eyes of a fictional executive search firm. And that search firm is Aston Martin Search. They are a fictional boutique executive search firm. And I'm going to be talking about how employees with different roles at Aston Martin Search benefit from using Invenius features today. And as we talk about future features, how those individuals with their different pain points, their different needs, different requirements will benefit from using Invenius into the future. And Aston Martin Search, as you can see, is a 50-person executive search firm. They have a global presence. They're based in London, and we and they are lucky enough to be users of the Invenius platform. The first person I'd like to introduce you to is Guy Davidson, who is a partner director at Aston Martin Search. And I really hope there are some on the call who share a similar role, similar responsibilities in your organization to Guy Davidson, our example here. And Guy has a lot of industry experience. He chose to leave a senior position to join Aston Martin Search. He's somebody who has a reputation as being a real domain expert. He's very respected within his industry. Every day he has to oversee various teams who are working multiple searches simultaneously. And a typical day for Guy is spent generating new business, running final candidate interviews, keeping his clients up to date with the progress of live searches. But Guy's ways of working have changed a lot in recent years. And we have to recognize that. He's had a journey from early digital products all the way through to cloud services and now into the world of automations. But today Guy is expected to deliver more. There's higher expectations from Aston Martin Search and from his clients. They're pushing for an ever shorter time to hire. They are applying pressure to deliver more searches in the same time frame previously. Guy is laser focused in trying to make his teams as productive as possible. It's really important to him to know where his projects are at, what's the current delivery status on them. And he wants to be winning more business using his industry knowledge and experience, but he dislikes having to spend time organizing marketing activities, etc. He'd rather be directly speaking to clients, where as a trusted advisor, he can really make a difference to them. But fortunately, as he's made the choice to use Invenius, he's seen some recent product enhancements which have really helped him to meet those ever-increasing expectations. So Guy is now able to utilize the milestones feature in Invenius Web to view the progress across the delivery progress across all of his assignments. He can see if an assignment is on track, if it's behind, what the next key task is, who is owning the next step, when it's expected to hit key milestones that follow the unique delivery workflow of Aston Martin Search. And that's available now. Guy is also able to maintain close communication with his clients using the Office 365 integration in Invenius Web. He can create emails, meeting invitations. As Guy is viewing emails on Outlook, within Outlook on any device, including his mobile, Guy can see if the email sender, is already inside Invenius. He can view key information about the person, the last time you met with them, whether they've been a client, a candidate before, and he can save the email back to Invenius using the Office 365 Outlook add-in. Available now. Guy has also made the wise strategic choice to use Bullhorn Automations, which is a live product bringing the power of automations to executive search. So at this point, I'm going to hand over to my colleague Eric Mative, who's going to provide us with a few examples of how automations are making Guy and his team more productive. Eric,
thanks, John. Thank you. So we just saw Guy's profile and the challenges that he's going through on a daily basis as a partner in the business, right? And how these challenges are impacting his ability to be a trusted advisor. So we're now going to look at 3 automations that are very simple, but very impactful and can bring value to a partner in the business, while helping them gain back that valuable time that they need to be a trusted advisor. So let's start with at-risk customers. Guy can use automation to identify who these people are within Invenius and update their status, so that not only him, but everyone else in the organization has visibility of who's potentially at risk. Now, for the person that owns the relationship with those executives, we could send internal notifications to alert them the moment somebody starts dropping off the radar. So Guy would be notified when a specific executive working for a specific company hasn't been spoken to in a certain number of days, and he can take action where relevant. Now let's look at the candidate side of things. Guy is also responsible for engaging with candidates at the final stages of the interview, right? So a very simple and easy automation that we can create is to notify him the moment a candidate's progress status has been updated, so he can start taking care of next steps. Now, last but not least is outbound engagement. And here I'm focusing specifically on the outbound engagement that is done en masse. Thinking of examples like monthly newsletters or quarterly updates with market insights to help you promote thought leadership. Or even a one-off campaign where, let's say, you're organizing an exclusive event for executives that you're working with, right? You can use automation to build standardized, high-quality content that you can distribute to your target audience. That content can be personalized for each individual recipient and sent on behalf of the people who own the relationship with these executives. And while all these things are happening in the background, you're giving back Guy the valuable time that he needs, that time that he can use to do what he does best, right? Be a trusted advisor for his customers. And with that, I'm going to hand it over back to John.
Awesome, thanks, Eric. So those are a few examples of literally kind of hundreds of possible automation workflows that you can build using the Automations app. And if we have anyone on the call interested in that product, please reach out to your account manager for further information. So I can now talk about some future Invenius features that are going to be a real benefit to Guy and his role at Aston Martin Search. The first of which is a really exciting feature. This is a new product feature in the Invenius roadmap. And as Aston Martin Search are always looking for opportunities to target emerging markets, they want to understand where they should be focusing their resources to make each office, each team as productive and as profitable as possible. They want to make data-driven decisions led by Invenius data and data from other data sources. Well, we're going to be bringing an official Power BI integration to Invenius. Guy will be able to build dashboards using this industry-leading product, combine Invenius data with other data sources without the need to run manual exports of the data, to highlight areas for him to focus his resource on. So Guy is able to make those data-driven decisions to maximize the productivity of his users. Guy has been watching the emergence of AI. It's been hard to avoid the headlines. Every time I open the BBC News, there seems to be a new story related to AI. Guy is excited, but he wants to ensure that it really offers value to him and Aston Martin Search. He has concerns around the sharing of data, given how important GDPR is for Aston Martin Search. So we've assessed many use cases. We've dug into the viability, the quality, the value that AI can bring to the world of executive search. So we're going to be adding the ability for users to ask AI to generate content and messages, whether that be an outreach email for a client, an assignment brief, interview questions, but fed by data held in Invenius. We think this is going to offer huge value and increased productivity for Invenius users. And we'll be adding prompts for these kind of typical executive search scenarios, so users can quickly select from a shortcut of options to save them time. And that's what we're building into our roadmap. And you'll also be hearing a speed pitch later on from from Kaya, of course, one of our development partners, who have a really compelling take on how to offer value with AI to Invenius users as well. The next feature that Guy is excited about, well, Aston Martin Search is on a path of acquisition and expansion. They are looking to grow. They have investment funding set up to acquire other search firms. So they're looking to add more data to their existing Invenius database. And this is a process that many of our customers, many Invenius customers do regularly. Well, in our roadmap, we have an updated data migrations technology and data migrations process, making these sort of projects faster, easier, certainly less complex for our SI partners who often lead these projects, with reduced downtime required, which makes these kind of migration projects, when you're looking to add or remove data, such as through a data cleanse, we think more attractive, more viable, less disruptive as well. That's going to make a big difference for Guy. But Guy is also looking to use the latest and greatest version of Microsoft Outlook. He's used every version of Outlook since Outlook 2003 with the Invenius desktop app. And for those on the call unaware, One Outlook is the yet to be released. It's certainly not complete yet. The new version of Microsoft Outlook, which has been the home of the Invenius desktop app for many years. And as Jonathan kind of alluded to earlier, we are certainly making the majority of our investment in the Invenius web application, but we absolutely still support desktop users. So with One Outlook, that means an investment to ensure the desktop app will be compatible with the new version. And it also provides us an opportunity to refresh the way that we deliver software updates and improve the overall Invenius user journey for those desktop users as well. So those are a few highlights for Guy from the product roadmap, and I'd like to take a look at a second persona from Aston Martin Search. Talk about some other features. So I've introduced you to Guy, and now I'd like to introduce you to Joanne. And Joanne, here we have Joanne O'Brien. She has the role of Researcher Associate at Aston Martin Search. She is a university graduate and is a fantastic presenter and communicator. Her responsibilities include sourcing candidates from the Invenius database and from external sources. And as an associate, she will screen candidates with calls, interviews, share the summaries with Guy to highlight the preferred candidates. So in her role, she really cares about data quality to enable her to differentiate between candidates to really find the gold, the best available candidates. And she spends much of her time finding candidates, reviewing CVs, arranging interviews, and speaking with candidates. Joanne's role has changed, again with a push for increased productivity. She spends more time on Teams and Zoom than in person, more digital engagement, digital sourcing, which helped to cut down the time to hire. She used to spend a huge proportion of her time communicating with key stakeholders like Guy to make him aware of assignment assignment progress to share key updates. But thanks to some recent Invenius releases, which have really benefited Joanne, and through automations, she is able to spend more time directly talking with candidates, less time on the admin-led activities that used to make up the majority of her day. So let's take a look at some of those features, some of those enhancements. So Joanne is now able to keep her data clean and up to date, as she is able to make bulk updates to category entries from the Invenius web app. At the end of an assignment, as part of her the close down process at Aston Martin Search, she ensures that candidates are updated with the same categories as the parent assignment. All of this leads to improving data quality, making it easier to find those candidates again in future searches. And to help Joanne as she progresses candidates in an assignment, we've really highlighted a key data point. And we've made off-limits information really front and center, really prominent through a new banner in the Invenius profile pane. So Joanne's able to see if a person is off-limits, the reason why they're off-limits, and she can also, there's a shortcut there to edit the off-limits policies, to add new policies without having to click away, open the person record, click back again. And this hugely reduces the number of clicks needed, the back and forth, to keep her focused in the assignment candidate list. So now I'd like to hand over again to Eric. Eric, you have again some real world, some live automation examples that have benefited Joanne as a researcher associate at Aston Martin Search.
Yes, we do. So again, thinking of Joanne's challenges, right? She's spinning multiple plates. She's struggling to keep track of the progress of every candidate. And on top of that, she has to deal with bad data as well, right? So let's look at 3 automations that can provide immediate value to an associate like Joanne in the business. The first one is milestones. Whenever a milestone is coming up, we want to make sure that the associate is aware of the upcoming due date so they can take the necessary action to complete that milestone, especially if it's tied to a billing event, right? So that could be a week before, a few days before that milestone is due. An internal notification could go out to Joanne, letting her know that she needs to take some steps in order to complete it, and that invoice can go out the door on time. Now, from a data health perspective, this is where we can start enabling self-service. Now, self-service is already part of our lives. It has been for a few years now in multiple aspects of our lives as well. You can use automation to enable self-service for your candidates too. Whether you're sending out communication on behalf of Joanne or on behalf of the business, you're enabling your candidates to self-serve and update their information when and as required, so that not only they can self-serve and do these actions when it's convenient for them, but you're taking that effort away from Joanne. And you're transforming Invenius into a reliable source of information so your associates can spend more time in Invenius and less time being spread across all these different external sources to find information. Now, last but certainly not least, is focused on the aftercare experience. Aftercare is becoming increasingly important, more so even in the executive search market. You can use automation to ensure that your consultants are outreaching and checking in on candidates you've recently placed at the right time, whether that's a month, 3 months, 6, 12 months after that start date of that placement. You can leverage automation to help them continue to nurture that relationship, because let's remember that the candidates today will be your clients tomorrow, right? So creating an incredible aftercare experience is key to helping you achieve that outcome. Now, these are just 3 of, as John said, hundreds of other use cases that you could be implementing for an associate, for a partner in the business, and other personas that you have in your organization as well. So hopefully this gave you some ideas where automation can bring you value. Maybe you thought of some use cases already that we haven't discussed here where you can implement automation as well. And if you need any help, I'm always be happy to jump on a call with you along your account manager. Thanks, John.
Awesome. Thank you, Eric. Thanks. So also in development now, from the roadmap for Joanne, we are adding powerful list view features to the Invenius web app. So Joanne will soon be able to open a view, such as her global assignments list, with her choice of filters applied. So she'll be able to make the data more relevant to her in her role, rather than opening all data and then filtering it down from there. And that's in addition to being able to edit and save her choice of view, the columns, the filters, the grouping, etc., all through the web app to make her data work with her. But she's also going to benefit very soon from a refreshed user interface in the web. We're bringing an updated look and feel to the application very soon that we think will really excite her and inspire her when using Invenius. That's going to be here with us very soon. We're going to be making a major change to the way Joanne is able to view and edit data in Invenius Web. So currently we display a subset of data within tabs, within individual tabs. We're going to be changing this up and have all data in all tabs available to Joanne by scrolling up and down the page. So she'll still be able to click to a tab to jump and view the journal, candidates in an assignment, but she could also just keep scrolling down inside a record if she would prefer to. And also to improve data quality, something that's so important for Joanne, we're adding new features to our data management module. So we're opening up more Invenius fields that you can set as compulsory or preferred, but also add the ability to add data in the data management window that appears when you open or save a record. It's the logical place. If Invenius is notifying you that you're missing data in a field, you want to be able to populate it straight away and not have to click around to find the field to add the data to. So between these two improvements, I think we're going to save Joanne a lot of time as she's viewing data in Invenius and adding data. And that's coming in 2024. In addition, we'll be continuing to add other features to our web app that will enable Joanne to work exclusively in the web app in the very near future. Offers and placements, assignment billing, fee splits, all important features in our roadmap that Joanne uses, not every day, but she does use inside the Invenius desktop product. And as we add these features to Invenius Web, we'll be simplifying them where we can, but being really conscious of not changing things too much, making the experience too different for existing Invenius desktop users. So we really care about the way people use our products. So those are some highlights from the Invenius product roadmap. And I'm now going to hand over to Jason Sacramento, the Principal Solutions Consultant, to give us an introduction to the new product offering for executive search from Bullhorn. That's Bullhorn for Salesforce. Jason, over to you.
Thanks, John. Appreciate it. So when we talk about Bullhorn for Salesforce and why exec search, let me break down a few key areas before we jump into some specific feature function. If you're experiencing challenges that maybe aren't particular to, let's say, boutique executive search firms, whether that's through acquisition or expansion, and you're finding yourselves moving into other staffing and recruitment, or you're already in other staffing and recruitment segments like RPO, MSP, even traditional staffing, Bullhorn for Salesforce on one platform can allow all of those different teams and all of those different verticals and segments to work off of the same instance and platform. So it will unite your entire organization and firm in kind of one place for truth for everyone to work out of. And this is also true if you're already using Salesforce's CRM. Bullhorn for Salesforce is a pre-integrated App Exchange partner. So we can drop in that really powerful ATS and recruitment specific feature functions directly into your Sales Cloud instance so that collaboration across your recruitment and sourcers and salespeople and ops is going to be second to none, including the visibility. that you'll have not only across the organization, but for reporting purposes and just to drive the most optimal efficiencies. And when we talk about Bullhorn for Salesforce, we always like to say it's kind of the art of the possible, if you will. If you have an appetite to customize and configure a system, and I mean really, really customize it, then Bullhorn for Salesforce may be a pretty darn good fit for you. Because the ability to be able to customize down to the specific detail, whether it's a field or workflow, user permissions, is at the highest level within the Bullhorn for Salesforce platform. And this is also true if you have a need or want to be able to extend out an interface with other vendors, third-party partners, because the API structure within Bullhorn for Salesforce, again, is second to none at a global scale. But we haven't forgotten by any stretch those exec search must-haves. So having the things like off limits on a candidate, account, assignment is already built into the system. This is also true for things like milestone management, whether that's on the assignment or in a dashboard. This is something that we've built into the system to accommodate. And things like target companies and assignments is just another related field, which is really powerful. But again, the ability to configure and make it your own is really the driver behind Bullhorn for Salesforce. Now with that, let's take a look at some additional things and features that Bullhorn for Salesforce can deliver at the exec search level. You want to click the next slide. One feature function that is really powerful in the exec search space that we have gotten incredible feedback around is our partnership and bidirectional integration with LinkedIn Recruiter. So as you can see, while you're on a candidate record in Bullhorn for Salesforce, you can see that candidate's most up-to-date real-time LinkedIn profile without leaving the system. And for the folks that like to work within LinkedIn Recruiter, that's perfectly fine as well because we interface with it. So you'll be able to see what candidates are already in your Bullhorn database while you're in LinkedIn Recruiter. You'll be able to submit them back to an assignment directly from Recruiter. And if you take certain actions and activity like sending an email or creating a note within Recruiter, that's also captured automatically within the record of the candidate in the Bullhorn for Salesforce platform. So we, again, interface a really powerful driving tool in the executive search space and make it really simple for your team and apply this in a way that they don't have to really have a workaround in many cases. John, if you want to hit the next slide. Now, as you're out there building and continuing to build your database of candidates, at the core of Bullhorn for Salesforce is our search engine. And this is a very powerful AI-driven engine that can match your candidate database, no matter how large or small, against your assignments within seconds. And it builds out a very powerful, detailed, and accurate search so that your folks and sourcers can find and initiate the most qualified, relevant candidates against each one of those assignments within mere seconds. They'll also have the ability, of course, to change and add to the search. They can use multiple different fields and statuses directly off of the candidate record to filter down the search as well. And at the end of the day, the system will automatically rate and score each candidate so that your folks can quickly and easily focus on the top-down approach. The system's always going to start with your Bullhorn database because you've already paid for those candidates, and they're the most profitable, of course. But if you have a need or want to search external boards like LinkedIn's public profiles, you can do that directly within this platform as well. By clicking into the LinkedIn tab, you don't have to change the search, it carries over, and you'll see a whole new slew of candidates ready for the taking. Next slide, please. But this is where it also gets really exciting, is because, well, usually one workflow in times isn't a one-size-fits-all. So, as an example, if you have a permanent assignment type and a retained assignment type, and you want the fields and the workflow stages, the hiring stages, the vetting stages to be different based off of those different assignment types, you can absolutely have that. This is where Bullhorn for Salesforce may be a pretty darn good fit. And it allows you now on this retained assignment type that we're looking at right now to immediately and accurately populate the appropriate stages and statuses for retained search. The stages are also dynamic. So on the retained type, if assessment is the next stage or vetting status, the assessment can be an internal assessment, or it can be linked out to a third-party vendor or third-party assessment as well. So the assignments, you can have multiple different workflows for your assignments. The workflows can be dynamic, and the stages and fields can also be dynamic as well. So this is all really powerful to hopefully work around your business. Next. And everything that I've talked about for the most part up to this point is completely reportable upon within Bullhorn for Salesforce. We use the Salesforce.com reporting structure, which is one of the most powerful and advantageous globally. So all of the fields and activity and actions and statuses that we've talked through in the past few minutes here, you can build out really detailed, beneficial reports, and you can use those reports to build out and create multiple different dashboards. And these dashboards can be driven by user permissions and profiles. So as a managing director, whenever I'm logging in, I'm seeing the firm's most pertinent KPIs and metrics that drive the business health. As a sourcer, another individual contributor, when I log in, my appropriate dashboard will automatically populate so that my KPIs are ones that I can take action on and digest quickly to move the business forward. So at the end of the day, everyone loves reporting, and you should, because Bullhorn for Salesforce can deliver it at the most optimal level, and you can turn those reports into actionable and digestible dashboards within minutes. With that, I'll hand it back over to the team.
Jonathan, did you want to say a few words to kind of summarize what we've been?
I'd be happy to offer some closing words. So in summary, and they're perfect. That's exactly the words I was looking for. I want to just recap where we and bring it back to the beginning where we started. You know, Invenius started its mission in supporting executive search professionals. Bullhorn, in acquiring Invenius, has taken that mission on ourselves. And for us, we've gotten to a point in both the maturity of the market and the maturity of the offerings that we've brought to market to really look at multiple solutions, ones that are appropriate for the different types of businesses that we see in the constantly developing and evolving executive search market. So that's exciting for us to be able to offer solutions that are not only nicely tailored to fit boutique firms, but also ones that offer incredible amounts of flexibility and the ability to invest in them and distinguish yourselves from one another. That's super exciting for us. Sorry, that's so American to say super excited. I'd also want to reiterate sort of the importance of automation and in what it is that we do. This has been a trend that has been evolving over decades in the staffing and recruitment market at large, and seeing it play out in executive search with all of the nuances that are critical to how this particular segment operates is key. You also heard us talk about our investment in web. That is not abandoning the desktop. We've had that conversation with our customers years ago, but we also acknowledge that that's the trend of where technology is going, and we see even major market leaders like Microsoft embracing sort of a hybrid architecture as they go. We follow that. We'll follow along those very same lines. And for those of you who are always worried, wait, is Invenius coming up with something new? The answer is yes. In fact, we're doing things like making this integration with Bullhorn automation work. We're invested in AI and capturing both the, rather than doing this entirely on our own, we're doing it in partnership with all of the work that happens at Bullhorn with a large brand, and also figuring out how to leverage the best that we can from our partners at Microsoft in bringing Power BI to market as well. So our passion for this market is greater than perhaps it's ever been. Our investment in it continues to be strong. And we're grateful for your partnership, certainly our customers and certainly any prospects who want to hear more about what it is that we have to offer. So thank you for your business.
Great. Thank you so much, Jonathan. Jocelyn, should we switch to our partners for the speed pitch section of the webinar?
Yeah, J-Hop, I can take that on. I am so amped up with everything that Bullhorn's doing in the executive search space, and it's not just about what we're doing here as a business, but it's also about what our partners are doing to continue supporting the our customers. And so we have a couple of partners here to give 60-second speed pitches. Would love for you to be able to hear them out and engage with them after this session as well. First up, Elliot Lack is a name you may recognize. He was actually a member of the Invenius team. Elliot is founder of Coral Starfish, which is a parsing solution, incredibly slick, that's baked into Invenius. Elliot, will you tell us more about the service that you're providing? And I believe you're on mute, Elliot.
Of course, still getting tricked out several years after this whole Zoom debacle. Thank you, Ashton, for those very kind words. And it is an absolute pleasure to be able to speak alongside the Invenius family once again. Coral Starfish is your Invenius companion on supported websites such as LinkedIn, LinkedIn Recruiter, and Zing, just to name a few. Now, it's already being used by many of you because we have usage figures of around 1,000 monthly active Invenius users every month. And today I'm going to talk to you about a few reasons for this popularity. So number one, we want to be able to help increase your Invenius usage and adoption. So users can interact with existing Invenius records directly from within these supported websites, whilst using our embedded panel to perform tasks such as add a candidate to an assignment, upload a new CV, or even view and create journal entries, just to name a few. Now, another reason, number two, preventing reputational damage. So coming back to off limits that's been discussed today, Coral Starfish will automatically highlight if the current person you're viewing is in your database and already flagged as off limits. And this will help to prevent users mistakenly contacting them, for example, sending a LinkedIn email. Don't want that to happen. And number three, the ease and speed of adding new records. You can effortlessly add new people to your database using our rapid and straightforward technology, saving you precious time. So that's a little bit about Coral Starfish. And if you like what you've heard, why not try Coral Starfish for free using our 30-day free trial, the details of which will be sent to you after this session. So thank you for this opportunity to speak, and I hope to see you all having a go with the free trial.
Elliot Lack, thank you so much. And we have a new entrant into the partnership here, Adrian Barrett of Kaya.ai. That is an assistant-led AI technology that a number of Invenius customers are utilizing. Adrian, why don't you tell us more about some of the innovation that y'all are delivering and pushing into the executive search space?
Thanks, Ashton. Really great session. Really enjoying my first experience of an Invenius user conference. It's been fantastic. And Ashton and the Invenius team have been really welcoming to us in terms of kind of getting us on board and as a new partner in the last couple of weeks. We've already had a conversation with a few of you. So we developed Kaya in partnership with our first client. It's a UK exec search firm called Granger Reese. And it started with a conversation where it became clear that they believed, as do we, that AI can have this huge positive impact on the talent industry, really by augmenting teams, not replacing them, definitely by augmenting them. And I know by now everyone has heard of ChatGPT. I'm sure pretty much everyone has used it. Kaya's a little different. So Kaya's a conversational AI like ChatGPT, but we fine-tuned Kaya to work in talent search. So to understand the process, to understand what it means to find a great candidate, and to be able to maintain a great relationship. And we've also given Kaya the ability to search Invenius on your behalf So Kaya can understand and rate any candidates found. You can give Kaya really long job descriptions, candidate briefs, and Kaya will figure that out and go and search Invenius for you. So we really realized early on that great search has to start with a great conversation. So rather than designing a whole new user interface for Kaya, Kaya just sits in Slack or Teams, where it just feels like another one of your colleagues and is a simple chat message away, whether that is going and tackling those lengthy tasks like searching Invenius, researching industries and companies, or drafting communications, so that your team can spend more time on what they love, which we think is candidates and clients. So Kaya's already proving its value in retained search. It's still really, really new and developing fast. What we're working on at the moment is giving Kaya access to the internet and to LinkedIn Recruiter so that the results are up to the minute. And soon, which we're really excited about, we're going to be getting Kaya to be able to enter data into Invenius on your behalf. So anything you're capturing, you can then easily get into Invenius really quickly. So we'd love to hear from you. If you're interested in finding out more, you can get in touch with us at hello@kaya.ai. That's KAIYA.ai. We'd love to hear from you and have a chat. Thanks, Ashton.
Wonderful. Everyone, that's Adrian Barrett of Kaya.ai. There'll be a follow-up email with the recording of the session, with contact information for our partners. And we look forward to going on this journey with you. These next few months are so exciting. Thank you all for coming out again. It's been wonderful doing this Executive Search Summit series. There will be a follow-up feedback form that we'd love for everybody to complete. I can't believe the words just slipped my thoughts there. That we love for everybody to complete. And I don't know, maybe next year we can do something in person. But go ahead, submit your thoughts, and that will be coming shortly. Thank you all again. Enjoy the rest of your day, and we'll be in contact shortly. Thank you, everybody.